Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Malt channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, and this one right here, I have been waiting too long to give you guys finally a no hype review on this very popular fragrance. And there have been a lot of feedback on this fragrance over how many years, and I think today finally it's time to give you guys the no hype. I will bring up every single point of contention when it comes to this fragrance right here. I hope you guys are ready. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to the channel. It does help us in a big way, especially when procuring a lot of these samples of these fragrances to try. Now, again, if you haven't done so, we have over 600 no hype videos for you guys to check out. So if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than the very popular Lelabo Bergamot 22. Yes, Bergamot 22 by Lelabo. Actually, I got the original sample. Okay, so this is my own vial. And just to give you guys a little heads up, if you guys plan to get samples from the official Lelabo website, this is how they look like. And this is for Matcha 26. So don't worry, I'm going to review this as well. I know a lot of y'all requested Matcha 26. And they do come in these containers right here, but the vials do not have sprayers. So FYI, if you're going to get a sample from Lelabo direct, they're not going to come with sprayers, and so you have to get something like this and, you know, pour it over here to actually get the spraying, or else you'll be like dipping it like this all the time. Now, Bergamot 22 is undoubtedly one of the most famous, most well-loved fragrances for spring and summer, guys. Obviously, I mean, you can't be a member of Fragcom and get into perfumes without knowing about Bergamot 22. But here's the thing, guys, okay? When it comes to Fragcom, Bergamot 22 just receives so much criticism about this fragrance that I have to bring up every single point of that. First and foremost, a lot of people say that this fragrance, Bergamot 22, is one-dimensional. It is one-dimensional according to many people that don't like Bergamot 22. They do say that this fragrance only delivers citrus, and that's about it. And the second point of contention is that people say that this fragrance right here is expensive. And it truly is. So 100 ml of Bergamot 22 is going to be over $300. You're going to have to shell out over $300 to get 100 ml of Bergamot 22, and the 50 ml, which is half of that, is not $150. It's actually $220. So it's kind of like an interesting pricing, to where I think in the end you're gonna just get the 100 ml just because it's $80 over the 50 ml. Now, the third point of criticism about Bergamot 22 is the performance. Okay, so there's a lot of people that say this thing apparently sucks. It's like a 5-minute scent. Some people say it's like a 2-hour to 3-hour scent, significant scent, and then it's pretty much gone. And so if you add all three, I mean, that's a bad look, right? I mean, it sounds like highway robbery on a one-dimensional perfume that doesn't perform. That's pretty horrible, right? So here's the thing. Why do people still come back to Bergamot 22? So why do they still do that? Why is this fragrance still popular, still a mainstay for spring and summer, despite all these criticisms that people say? It's expensive, it's one-dimensional, and it doesn't last long anyway. So today, that is what we are going to talk about. I'm going to give you guys my no hype review on Bergamot 22. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay guys, now let's talk about Bergamot 22 by Lelabo right here, guys. Now the first thing that's gonna pop out is obviously going to be bergamot. Okay, obviously. And this bergamot right here is a nice, fresh, sparkling, juicy bergamot, okay, that actually comes out in a really strong proportion. Actually, with this specific fragrance, bergamot is front and center. Now, that will not always be the case with Lelabo fragrances, although they title their fragrances with the primary note that there is, like musk or tuberose or vanilla, that is not always the case that you're gonna get front and center that primary note's gonna come out. So in this case, guys, Bergamot 22, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get loads and loads of bergamot as the starter, and up to the mid, it's still gonna be there when it comes to this fragrance right here. Now, the big reason why a lot of people love Bergamot 22 and why they keep coming back to it in spring, summer, is because this citrus right here, this specific part where you get that burst of bergamot, is actually a big mood enhancer. Okay, so citrus notes actually are big mood enhancers when placed in perfumery, and it does precisely the same thing here. I mean, just imagine getting that beautiful fresh citrus at the start of your day. That's precisely what it does. It enhances your mood, it makes you focused, and gets you ready for the day ahead. Another thing about this intro too is that it is relatively safe and universal. So instead of boxing in the usage of this fragrance, you can basically use it anytime, anywhere. And because it will enhance your mood, most likely it will enhance the mood of people around you as well. The opening blast of Bergamot 22 starts up as an aura scent and proceeds to become a very consistent, lingering scent. So it's not like a super projector, but for the first like 2-3 hours, people are gonna smell this around you. And if they come in close, maybe 1 to 2 feet, they're definitely gonna smell the citrus, the beautiful fresh citrus around you. Now, the thing about this fragrance that's really interesting are the added notes to that bergamot, guys. And the big note, one big note right here, that's kind of like a chief note, is going to be petitgrain, guys. Petitgrain. And petitgrain is an oil that comes from crushing the leaves and the twigs from the bitter orange tree. There's a difference between that and orange blossom because it has the same elements of orange blossom, but you have now a slight greenness and a slight woodiness with this petitgrain right here. Now, this petitgrain adds on to that bergamot as well as grapefruit for a double dose of citrus, guys. Okay, so it's a beautiful mix. You will start smelling that petitgrain literally minutes in to this fragrance right here, and so you'll smell some greenness, some slight woodiness, and some slight white orange florals right here, guys. It's really beautiful. And then you've got the grapefruit as well. Now, the swirl of bergamot, petitgrain, and grapefruit, I'm gonna call this the combo, guys. Okay, this part lasts up to 6 hours. Okay, this part lasts up to 6 hours. Significant scent, guys. Okay, and there is a reason why I got the official sample. I had to get it direct from Lelabo because I really wanted to know if this thing would just die within 2 hours from an official sample. And right here from the official sample, the citrus, the greenness will be around up until 6 hours. Significant scent, guys. Now, here's why the fragrance can last that long. It's because of the mid notes of this fragrance. Remember when I told you guys that petitgrain was going to be a chief note because it provides both floral, the orange blossom smell, with some leaves as well as some woodiness? Well, the effect of the petitgrain actually extends well into the mid, creating similar sensations because you have these notes now that duplicate or make you feel the same sensations. So first of all, grapefruit is there, and grapefruit is an additional citrus that kind of double doses on that bergamot. But then from the petitgrain, you are gonna get orange blossom. So orange blossom pops out in the mid, continues that petitgrain smell, and then you're going to get vetiver. Yes, that grassy vetiver, which is gonna be very slight here, but you can smell that vetiver continue on that green part of that petitgrain. Okay, very subtle here in the mid. These notes are the extenders of what you are feeling in the beginning. Now, with that being said, let's look into that first point of contention, which is that this fragrance is one-dimensional, right? And I would agree that this is kind of one-dimensional, okay, because you have the same sensations going on for 6 hours. However, It's already advertised though. So this is not a hidden thing. It's hidden behind a concept or a name that doesn't say Bergamot 22. It says it right there, Bergamot 22. So be warned. It says Bergamot 22. You're gonna get bergamot. You're gonna get a lot of it, loads of citrus with some greenery, some freshness, some slight woodiness for again 6 hours. So that's really what it is. I would say it's kind of one-dimensional, but it's more like the same sensation for hours and hours. But definitely here, it's not just gonna be citrus. You're definitely gonna smell that greenness from that vetiver. You're gonna smell the floral parts of the orange blossom, and you will get the woodiness from the cedar for sure. Now after that, that is when the dry down notes start popping out. First and foremost, it's gonna be cedar. So it's gonna be a lot more woodsier, guys, headed into the dry down after 6 hours. And then you're gonna have the gradient of that sensual musk. Okay, so it's gonna be musk and woods, typical stuff, right? But it's actually a nice ending. It's a nice gradient because, I mean, most of the fragrance is going to be fresh and lively and beautiful, but then there has to be an end. You know what I mean? There has to be an ending to this, and it has to be a gradient. And in my opinion, the musk is perfectly placed for this gradual, slow, sexy ending right here. So it's going to be woods and musk. There is some slightly sweet amber here as well that I can smell in this dry down, but for me, it's woody and musky. That is the nice ending to Bergamot 22. I know there's some nutmeg here, but honestly, I couldn't smell that spiciness. I was expecting the spiciness. Some people say it's there, but I couldn't really smell that nutmeg right there. I really feel like it's woody, musky, and slightly ambery headed into the dry down, guys. Now this evolved next stage of Bergamot 22 with the dry down notes, woody, musky, and slightly sweet ambery. This part lasted to me another 2 to 3 hours, guys. Okay, and that brings the total to 9 to 10 hours significant scent. Okay, and that makes this fragrance long lasting to me. At least that's my experience. And again, this is with the original decant, the original sample straight from the source Lelabo. Stark difference from what a lot of people are saying, 5 minutes or 2 hours. For me, it lasted quite a while, guys. So that's that when it comes to performance. And let's talk about the price. This fragrance is really not cheap. It's about $300 something, 310 I believe, for 100 ml, guys. Okay, and you have travel sizes, you have 50 ml for 200 something dollars. I think at the end of the day, if you really like Bergamot 22, you should go with the 100 ml because it will last you for many spring and summer seasons to come, guys. Okay, here's the thing I want to share. I mean, I do have a lot of friends that love Lelabo fragrances. They're not members of the fragrance community, they're not in it, but they do love it. They don't mind paying that kind of price when it comes to these types of fragrances. Now, first and foremost, it's okay for them because Lelabo is a trendy brand. Okay, it's a very trendy brand. I live here in LA. All the boutiques are swamped with all sorts of socialites and chic people and trendy people. And so it's part of the whole thing, guys. But the one thing that I've noticed too, when it comes to some of my friends who love Lelabo, is that they are more in tune with the initial sensation of the product. So because they're not, you know, Fragcom members, they're not really into the notes, they probably don't even know the notes. It's more of the emotional sensation that they get when they wear these Lelabo fragrances, whether it's Santal or it's the other, or it's this one, Bergamot 22. And if we're gonna go by that kind of parameter, giving you a euphoric, lovely feeling when you're wearing a perfume, 100% Bergamot 22 is gonna win because, like I said, it is a very good, top-notch mood enhancer, and that is the reason for me why people keep coming back to it, because it enhances your mood for hours and hours. And I mean, looking at that, that is why a lot of my friends buy these full bottle, $300. They don't really care because it's trendy, based on the marketing of Lelabo, and then at the same time smells great. Bottom line, we're not gonna nitpick. And so that is basically it. That is my quick review of Lelabo's Bergamot 22. It took a minute, guys, but I really wanted to get the decant from the source, so I could give you guys the no hype feedback. And again, don't worry, I will be reviewing Matcha 26 very soon. I'm on it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think about Bergamot 22. Are you a fan of it or not? Is this too simple for you or not? Or do you like the fact that it's a mood enhancer? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless, take care, peace.